How did Bruce Wayne become Batman? His parents being killed by criminals didn't make him Batman. That made him want to be Batman. The way he became Batman was he tracked down the world's greatest detectives, martial artists, scientists, and illusionists and trained under them. If you were to become Batman in real life, who are the experts that you would have to find and train under? Let's find out. Batman is the world's greatest detective. He's also one of the top martial artists and a skilled chemist, race car driver, and escape artist. But this doesn't happen overnight, not even in comic books. He spent years training under the best and brightest practitioners in the world. I'm Rusty Ward, and in this episode of Science Friction, I'm going to break down the skills you would need to become a real-world Batman, and tell you who the leading experts are in those fields. These are the people you'll have to go to and convince that with their help, you can become something the likes of which this world has never seen. Let's start with combat. Mixed martial arts has changed martial arts irrevocably over the past 20 years. We're now able to see different fighters using different styles face off and see which techniques prove superior. Greg Jackson has trained a number of UFC champions and is considered by many to be the best MMA trainer working today. It's said that Batman can beat any opponent given the time needed to evaluate them. Like Batman, Greg Jackson's specialty is being able to identify a fighter's strengths and weaknesses. He then designs a training regimen to eliminate those weaknesses and take best advantage of those strengths. But Batman's not just a hand-to-hand fighter, he also uses his batarangs to great effect. To learn throwing weapons, you should look up this man, the Reverend Dr. David Adamovich. He is the world's fastest and most accurate knife thrower. He holds 25 world records, including the Guinness Book of World Records, for the most knives thrown around a human body in 60 seconds. He never threw a knife in his life until he was 50 years old. The moment he did, he said he instantly understood the physics and mechanics of knife throwing. Sometimes Batman uses explosive batarangs, and he often has to defuse bombs. For this, you need demolition training. There are a lot of skilled demolitionists out there. A lot of them work commercially, blowing up buildings so future construction can take place. But the Joker's bombs don't go off when you want them to. If you're going to learn to defuse a bomb, you're going to have to learn how to deal with the pressure of a countdown and knowing that people's lives are on the line. To learn that, you should talk to Captain Wayne Owers. He's a British Army soldier who won the Queen's Gallantry Medal for defusing a record 93 bombs in a 6-month period while serving in Afghanistan. He doesn't view himself as a hero. He says it was sheer luck that he survived while other demolitionists died. But if you ask the people whose lives he saved, they might say differently. What's Batman without the Batmobile? If you're going to be Batman, you need to learn how to drive. You could learn from a Formula One or NASCAR driver, but Batman's chases rarely take place on a clear strip during ideal conditions. You need to know how to dodge debris, make 180-degree turns, and pull off death-defying jumps without breaking your back. I recommend you seek out Ken Block, holder of 2 X Game medals and one of the best stunt car drivers working today. In his 2012 Gymkhana video, he uses San Francisco as his own personal playground and demonstrates how stunt car driving would look in a real-world environment. He's also been called the Bruce Wayne of stunt driving for juggling a number of successful business ventures while being a regular on the racing scene. Many villains have learned the hard way that no traps are capable of holding Batman for very long. That's because he trained with Zatara, one of the DC Universe's greatest magicians and escape artists. If you're going to pick locks and escape from prisons the way Batman does, you're going to have to find your own escape artist. I suggest Anthony Martin, an escape artist that prides himself on being a purist. He refuses to use any trick or altered locks. He's escaped from multiple prisons and performed timed escapes involving one where he was sealed in a coffin and thrown out of a plane, and another where he was locked in a cage and submerged under freezing water. Batman has shown an incredible aptitude in a number of sciences, but 2 stand out above the rest: chemistry and forensics. To learn chemistry, you should find Roald Hoffman. Not only is he a world-renowned Nobel Prize-winning theoretical chemist and educator who's greatly respected by his peers, but like Batman, he's also someone who has a painful past. He was born in Poland and survived through the Holocaust. Him and his mother were smuggled out of the labor camp they were held in by their father, but his father was later killed when he was trying to organize another breakout. After Hoffman, you should find Clea Koff, a forensic anthropologist considered one of the top 10 forensic science experts in the world today. She's worked with the United Nations to investigate the mass grave killings in Rwanda and the Balkans. Her work led to the prosecution of a number of war criminals, including former Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic. Finally, and most importantly, you need to learn to be a detective. Detectives aren't ranked the same way athletes and academics are, so it's hard to point to any single living authority. But fortunately, there's a place where you can find a great number of authorities. It's called the Vidocq Society. It's a group of retired investigators from around the globe. There's people from Scotland Yard, Interpol, the FBI, the NYPD, Egyptian military, even Al-Qaeda hunters and mafia busters. These are the world's greatest detectives, and they meet once a month in Philadelphia to solve cold cases on a pro bono basis. If you're looking for experience, you can find centuries of it right here. Talking your way into the Vidocq Society, that's on you. These are the men and women you have to train with in order to become the world's greatest crime fighter. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and be the bat, or the mongoose, or the barred owl, whatever it is that your costume theme is for your vigilante. Check out the Science Friction Facebook page and let me know what skills and people you would include in your Batman training regimen. And be sure to let me know what superpower you want.